My name's BJ Cruse. My real name's Benjamin John Cruse. I've been involved in land rights since inception. So I've been chairman for about 28 years of the Land Council system.
Well, most people know me as Ozzie Cruse. And that name Cruse came from America. My grandfather was American Indian. My grandmother on one side was Monero, and because my grandfather married twice, actually it was a Yuin woman he married first, then he married a Monero woman. And both those grandmothers are relevant, and then with my mother, she was a Gunai woman from Victoria.
I think probably in the 80s and 90s there, late 80s and early 90s, we started to achieve some things. We've had a lot of success with land claims. I think we got about 130 land claims, about $20 million worth of lands we've had granted.
We knew that there was a need for us to use whatever energy we could and whatever resource we had to make something for the future of our children's children. One in particular was to build a major keeping place and cultural centre. And when we got moving on that, we said, well, how are we going to build it? Well, we would use TAFE courses. Like we got first 8-week TAFE course was a bit of theory and a bit of practical building. Then another 8 weeks we made some seats and things like hands-on stuff. Then the next 13 weeks we laid the foundation of this magnificent building we got here. So we started to build this cultural centre through TAFE courses. Inside of it we have our archives, our ladies, the elderly ladies. We have been researching for over 25, maybe 30 years, researching, and they have tremendous information. Of late, they've put into that building there the complete remains of a language from this coast, from here to La Cruse. We have the complete language that's left over. We have young men working here on this place now, and we've set up a 400-metre pathway that will encapsulate the tribal lifestyle of the people of this region. We put up gunyahs and the things that show the lifestyle, how people lived, even bush medicine and the technology, the way that people think things were made. BJ, my son, has been so successful at so many of those things in relation to not only claiming land, but also getting this pathway up and really recognised as a major pathway. It will be a pathway where we're training our rangers. Our community rangers are being trained now. We have 4 of them in training. But the fact is that the heritage of our people become a very marketable product. And we knew that with our heritage we could do things that would help us to revitalise our culture.
We have another organisation we call Twofold Aboriginal Corporation. And we realise we're the one people, we're the one members. And so we use the Twofold Aboriginal Corporation because they're a particular body that is able to attract other funding and other programs the Land Council don't. And vice versa, the Land Council is able to claim vacant Crown land with Twofold Aboriginal Corporation card. We're mainly focused on training and employment, which is our main focus, because we have the same vision as the State Land Council. We're programmed for social and economic independence, and we realise that the tap's going to dry up one day, and the government's going to cut off the funding. And that's a very important lesson I learnt, to give government the desire to want to support Aboriginal people, as opposed to holding government at ransom and trying to force them. Because, things like that, agreements like that in the past, government will always hold back in reserve. And so we've learned to be a little bit diplomatic over the years too, I suppose. Yeah.